Hi, Paul.
Hey,
Hi,
Paul.
Walter.
Hello.
Hi, Fred.
Good evening, everyone.
Walter, how are you?
Hi.
Not too bad. How's it going for everyone?
Pretty
Good.
good.
I'm good. Sure.
It's fun trying to tune a multi-stringed instrument.
Yeah, that's why 4 is my limit.
Hi, Marty. Isn't there a view in Zoom that shows you like if your bandwidth is too low or something?
I don't know.
Not
think
that I've
that-
ever heard.
I think the host gets to see it
Oh, well,
in gallery view, I think.
I'm in gallery view, but I don't see any reference to bandwidth.
Would probably be on the stop video up arrow if there is something. Video settings.
Anyway,
Does it seem like there's
I
a
remember
bandwidth
seeing
problem?
it. Oh, I know. It's under speaker view. And it told me my bandwidth was low.
I can't remember if I've seen it in Teams or Zoom, but I have seen a pop-up in one of those two where it occasionally says your bandwidth is low, but it seemed intermittent. So I don't know if I'm talking about the same thing you are.
Yeah, I think it is, Paul. I just saw I just got a note saying my bandwidth was low and it disappeared.
Yeah, your voice
The
is garbled
colors
every
of
once
the
in a while.
bars. Yeah, I think it's very bad today. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you sound fine.
Mm.
Yeah, I think your video is freezing now and then. It's just
Yeah,
not.
I know. I noticed that too.
Yeah. Well, I might have to join some other way then. I'll come back.
Okay, see you in a second.
Paul, had you heard of my song before?
Oh yeah, I like that song.
Is that horse with no name?
Horse with no name.
Oh, you recognized it right off. It took me a second to recognize it, and I knew to be on the
Hey,
lookout.
I lived through the 70s.
Oh, I think I even went to an America concert.
Well, Kevin brought us that song once.
Oh yeah.
I liked it because of the chords were kind of weird, but I never could figure out a key I could sing it in.
Yep.
The lyrics never made any sense to me. There ain't no 1 for to give you no pain. What does that mean?
It's how you talk when you're doing heroin, I think.
Well,
be
Nobody out in the desert.
I read on the internet that they deny that it's about heroin. So after that, I was like, oh well, I give up on this song.
Some other drug.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Now that makes me want to research it.
Right, right.
See, I never paid attention to the words. I just like the sound of it.
Yeah.
I thought it had a great.
He never knows the words. I never know the so.
It was a great song.
You're doing yada da 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 da.
That's it.
Doesn't matter what the words were, huh?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da,
La,
da,
la,
da,
la.
La.
I like peanuts and bread. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did your song, Marty, that you're a version of well, the traditional song that you did last time. I can't remember what it's called now because I don't have it out. All the good times are past and gone.
Yeah.
I told them they needed to listen to this because it had so many interesting words and it was about a mill working song. And these people
Yeah.
like old work songs and union songs and stuff like that. So I thought they ought to listen to it. They didn't say anything, but I think they appreciated it.
Well, good.
At least they didn't criticize it.
With the lyrics of feeling good to be out of the rain, the meaning of the song was rooted in escape from the drudgery of everyday life in the city, not promoting drug use.
Ah. Yeah, I never thought about drugs when I used to listen to that song.
A horse is a nickname for heroin. So
Oh,
Yes, indeed.
Never occurred.
well, I probably didn't know that at the time.
to me with that
I
song.
was an innocent.
Well, I didn't know it either until it came up in the, popular press. So.
Till one day when you were shooting up and someone said, please pass the horse.
I thought it was just about a horse.
Hey, horse.
Yeah, but just because horse might be a name for heroin, that doesn't mean that every song about a horse is about heroin.
Yeah, but look who's playing it.
Yeah.
What is Keta Notorious?
It was
Like Puff the Magic Dragon. Have you ever heard Peter Yarrow talk about how it's not a
What
drug
about
song?
marijuana? Oh, yeah.
That's
Well,
like
it's
trying to say. That's like trying to say Willie Nelson isn't smoking anymore.
Yeah. Well, my brother who was in Vietnam told me about Puff the Magic Dragon. It was it's a particular helicopter that would put a bullet in every square foot in some radius. And it was
Okay.
horrifying, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
When things got really hairy, they called up Puff the Magic Dragon.
I think these guys write these songs to be just ambiguous enough. They can fit
And
lots
you
of
wonder
different
30
things.
years later. what
Especially in
hell
the
was going on.
60s.
Yep.
In the 60s, the radio police were after you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So you had to
True,
use code
that's
words.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like let's not be L7.
Be what?
Well, I mean, when the Rolling Stones was trying to be on that goofy show, Ed Sullivan, right? They had to modify their lyrics. They couldn't say, let's spend the night together. We had to spend some time together because it wouldn't pass by standards and practices on CBS.
That's some pretty tough standards.
Well, it was like 1962, okay?
How about those were the days of free love, the 60s.
Yep.
Paul, you asked about L7.
Yeah.
Let's not be L7. That's one of those Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs or something, the Woolly Bully or something. Let's not be L7. That's L and 7.
Square.
Square.
Gotcha. I was never going to figure that out.
Those weird phrases.
Let's see.
Let's not be L7.
Yep.
Gonna learn to dance.
Oh yeah, I know that song.
Woolly Bully. Woolly Bully.
All right.
Woolly bully.
There we go, our first sing along.
We each get a phrase.
There you go. That works.
Kent, you want to sing us your heroine song?
Yeah, let's hear this heroine song. Now that my ears are.
There is another song about the white horse that says, "If you want to ride, don't ride the white horse." That one's got to be about heroin.
White Rabbit is not about drugs. Here we go.
Yeah.
On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all of life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things, were sand and hills and wings. The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Good to get out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la. 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story was told of a river that flowed, made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Good to get out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. La 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 la. After 9 days, I let the horse run free, because the desert had turned to sea. There were plants and birds and rocks and things, there were sand and hills and rings. The ocean is a desert with its life underground, and the perfect skies above. Under the cities lies a heart underground, but the humans will give you no love. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Felt good to get out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. La 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 la.
That was great, Ken.
Welcome. That was fun.
Yeah.
You need to do like 3, 4 more la la la's at the end.
It's a long song, though.
Yeah. Well,
You're right,
yeah, well,
you're right.
you did good singing it, and I could actually sing along with you. I thought I couldn't sing in that key, but I guess things have changed. That was a
I
long
kept
time.
wanting to do the harmony.
Harmony.
La,
Good harmony.
la.
If we ever go face to face again, it'd be a good one for us to do together.
Yeah,
Right.
Great harmony on that.
yeah.
Yeah, I love the chords. They're all so easy.
I think that's the same key that Kevin's version was in.
I
too.
think so. I remember the D minor and the C6.
Me too.
I didn't remember the E minor.
Walter, you want to sing us what gets you higher and higher?
Okay, yeah. Talk about 60s songs.
Really?
Although this one I don't think is drug related.
It says higher and higher right in the title.
Yep. What does that mean?
Well, it means that Walter's high on life.
Yeah.
This is actually a lot like the song we just heard because it's the same chords over and over again. Basically, it's the same chords for each line. I added an A at one point, which it needed, but it's all mostly all the same thing. Your love lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. Keep it up, quench my desire. I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love keeps lifting me, lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love, lifting me higher and higher. Now once I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and you soon departed. You know he never showed his face again. That's why your love keeps lifting me, lifting higher, higher and higher. And your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. I'm so glad I finally found you. Yes, that one in a million girls. And now with my loving arms around you, honey, I can stand up and face the world. Let me tell you your love keeps lifting me, lifting me higher, higher and higher. Said your love keeps on lifting me higher and higher. And that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Encore,
Nicely done.
It's an old favorite of mine. I don't know if you remember Jackie Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
He had
Oh,
a
yeah.
wonderful voice. He could
Great
do
voice.
this incredible falsetto. and he actually had a couple of hits using his falsetto. And if you hear it, you just kind of put your hand to your head and wonder, how did he do that?
Well, you have a great voice, Walter. Walter, it was pretty cool. So,
well, thank you.
Sounded really good.
Well delivered.
Yeah. Brenda, you want to go?
Okay, are you talking to me?
I am talking to you.
Oh, okay.
This is your song,
We
right?
will- Yes, it is my song. Okay. So, there. Okay, here we go. Well, it's all right, riding around the woods. Well, it's all right, you live a life you please. Well, it's all right, doing the best you can. Well, it's all right, long as you lend a hand. You can sit around and wait for the morning again. Wait for someone to tell you everything you can. Sit around and wonder what tomorrow brings again. Maybe I die. It's all right, even if you say you're wrong. Well, it's all right. Sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's all right, as long as you got somewhere to play. Well, it's all right. Every day is judgment day. Maybe somewhere down the road, ways again. You never think of me and wonder where I am these days again. Maybe somewhere down the road in somebody's place again. Purple haze, it's all right. Even if push comes to shove, well, it's all right. You got somebody to love, yeah, it's all right. Everything will work out fine, well, it's all right. Going to live my life. Don't have to be ashamed of the car I drive again. I'm glad to be here, happy to be alive again. No matter if you're by my side again, I'm satisfied. Well, it's all right. Even if you're old and gray, well, it's all right. Still got something to say, well, it's all right. Remember to live and let live, well, it's all right. The best that you can do is forgive. Well, it's all right. Riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right. You live the life you please. Well, it's all right. Even if the sun don't shine. Well, it's all right. We're going to be alone. Okay. And we will wean ourselves
great,
off the
Brenda.
banjo song soon.
I like the banjo.
Yeah, it has a cool sound.
Yeah,
I like that song a lot too.
I
Yeah,
like it too.
I'm liking this little instrument more and more. It's just the right size. Good.
Cool.
Mary Jane, you want to do a song?
Okay, put hold on up
Okay.
for this session. Yeah, this song is it's based on an older gospel song called Keep Your Hand on the Plow. This one's called Hold On, Keep Your Eyes on the Prize, and it was written by Guy Carawan and Alice Wine. I've never heard of them before except for this song, but it seems to cover a lot of ground. I thought of it as a civil rights song, and it definitely ends up that way, but it seems like it starts out biblical and then it does kind of move into religion, but it does have some verses that are definitely civil rights type verses. And I just noticed recently that it only has 2 chords. Somehow that escaped me when I was learning it before. But
2 chords is a good number.
yeah, they go together real well. They seem like you're playing more chords, a minor, I guess, always that makes a good impression in a song. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it does have some breaks in it, things for the kazoo to do. So, Paul and Silas bound in jail, had no money to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Paul and Silas thought they were lost, dungeon shook and the chains fell off. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only thing that we did wrong was staying in the wilderness too long. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only thing that we did right was the day we begun to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Freedom's name is mighty sweet. One day soon we're gonna make. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Got my hand on the gospel plow. Won't take nothing from my journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Chain that a man can stand is that chain of hand on hand. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. We're gonna board that big greyhound, carrying love from town to town. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. We're gonna ride for civil rights. We're gonna ride both black and white. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. We've been jail and violence too, but God's love has seen us through. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
That's a good one. You're right. 2 chords is enough.
Well, I gotta say, it gave me plenty of practice. Well, not sufficient practice, but some more practice in moving between a G and A minor, like at the starting at the 2nd fret, and then this one that's at like 5, 4, 5, 3 at A minor. I always struggle to get in that position. So
You're
appreciate
using a
that.
fancy A minor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Why aren't you doing the 1 finger A minor?
Sometimes it's handy to know some other versions of the chords.
I know. Just messing with you, Paul. You went from the easiest chord to one of the hardest chords.
It was an exercise. So
Yeah, now I hear you. It's the perfect song to
Mary
experiment.
Jane, I thought it was interesting. You said it starts out kind of biblical. Well, then it goes into religion.
Religion.
Well,
Whoa.
well, yeah, the Paul and Silas story sounds like a Bible story.
Yeah.
But
Then
then
you said then it moves into religion. Like,
yeah, well,
if it's
yeah, I guess
biblical, it's probably already religion.
there's a lot of different religions.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, hearing this in all the songs, who are Paul and Silas and what did they do?
Well, I don't know. You know, I didn't research that verse, and I just thought that they were in a dungeon and something must have happened there. It sounds like
I don't remember.
an earthquake or something happened. Yeah, I really don't know. That's why I said it seems to cover a lot of ground, but I like all the verses, you know. And then there's going in the wilderness, you know, we stayed in the wilderness too long.
It says here that Paul was a missionary companion to the Silas was a missionary companion to the Apostle Paul, and
So it was Apostle Paul, yeah.
yeah, and accompanied
So it
on
really
many of
is
his
biblical.
missionary journeys to the Gentiles.
Acts 16, verse 19. When her owners realized that their hope of making money was gone, they seized Paul and Silas and dragged them into the marketplace to face the authorities.
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah,
they're
you'll
running
never
buddies.
get any good explanation for the Bible out of a Unitarian.
There's the running buddies there.
I seem to recall that, so God made their chains fall off and the gates fell open, and they didn't leave the prison. And then the guard thought for sure they were going to be executed for letting the prisoners go. But they were thankful not to have to die on that account.
There was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken. All at once, the prison doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose.
Yay.
That's in that same section of the scripture.
Okay, well, it fits into the song. That's it's a good
And
introduction.
then after all that, it gets religious.
I just
All right.
noticed, Gary and Paulette, you changed your name to Paulette and Gary.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
hadn't noticed that he had done that. That's funny. So
It
now
fits the
that's more or
positions
less-
better.
Yes, I guess so.
Well, I thought you might switch places to see Gary's, finger craft, but
well, all the controls are over on
Yes,
this
he
side.
has to
so-
be on the other side where he can reach all of the buttons. He has
how's your finger doing, Paulette?
It's better. It's still a little sore, but it's better.
It's not going to stop you from playing or singing tonight, right?
No.
Good.
All right, Marty, after all your smart alecky comments, do you want to do your song?
Oh, I thought you were going to say because of my smart alecky, you're going to make me last. All
You
right.
get to go first.
Now, this is more of a talking song than really anything. So it's Tom T. Hall. It's in 3/4 time. My notes said it there, but it didn't transfer over to the PDF for some reason, either when Paul did it or when I did it. So, but it's 3/4 time. Okay. Pretty green hills, pretty green hills. He said to take him to the pretty green hills. He stood at the crossroads where his bus had left him. A battered old suitcase sat there by his side. Saw in the distance a rainstorm was brewing. I pulled off the highway to give him a ride. I got up to help him climb in my pickup. I covered his suitcase with a tarp from the back. He huffed and he puffed as he got himself settled. He said, I got old and I'm down in my back. His beard was all white and his face was all wrinkled. He said, I was born here and then he grew still. I asked him how far he was planning on going. He said, take me into them pretty green hills. Pretty green hills, pretty green hills. He said to take me to them pretty green hills. He smiled as he sat there, he stared out the window. The corn was knee-high and the fields were all green. He never said much, but his face told a story. I left him alone with his own private dreams. I kept on driving and he kept on smiling. We drove up and up through the hills of his youth. I asked him if he had some kinfolks around there. He said, I don't think so, tell you the truth. Long about dark, I was needing a rest stop. I stopped at a store, getting ready to close. I started to ask him if he needed something, but he was asleep, so I just let him doze. I filled up my truck and found I was hungry. I bought me some cheese and cold drinks and bread. Went back to my truck and I shook the old stranger. But soon I discovered the old man was dead. I called the sheriff, they took him somewhere. I had to keep rolling, we all have our bills. A couple weeks later, and somebody told me they buried him there in them pretty green hills. Pretty green hills, pretty green hills. They buried him there in them pretty green hills.
That was great, Marty.
Nice.
Thank you.
Another
Hello.
2-chord song. That's
Yeah, I like to keep it simple.
Were you strumming or doing a picking pattern? I couldn't tell.
Well, at first I tried to do. And then from then on, it was just.
Yeah, there's something meditative about just doing two chords in that pattern, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds different sometimes.
I know Tom T. Hall is one of my favorite songwriters. He wrote all kinds of story songs. He was just a magnificent guy.
I think
He
you
just
sang
died
this
this
song
year.
before. I think.
I wasn't that song. I did.
No, not this one. Another one by him.
Yeah, I did. I've done 2 or 3 by him.
I'm forgetting the title right now, but yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Fred, do you have a song? All right. Paulette and Gary.
Paulette and Gary.
Well, Paulette and Gary have a grandson who is turning 4, who is in love with the Beatles. He knows all the Beatles songs. He can sing all the Beatles songs. His favorite Beatles song is Yellow Submarine. And his birthday party is this weekend, and we have been requested to perform Yellow Submarine at his birthday. So we have been trying. Yellow Submarine is a deceptively easy-looking little song that is not easy at all.
No.
Well, you've got a grandson that's got good taste.
Happy birthday to him.
Marty, for some reason, your microphone's really being overdriven.
And it started in the middle of your song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now it's fine.
Okay, now I'll talk
What does that mean?
It's buzzing a whole lot.
It's too loud.
Oh, I see.
Distorting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have gotten a little too excited. Is it better now?
Yes.
I can't hear Marty.
Yeah.
And if I talk a whole lot louder, is it worse?
Yeah.
Well, I don't hear the clipping anymore. So,
Oh,
well, you
I don't know.
can listen to the recording and you'll see what we mean.
maybe I didn't pay the bill on the operating system or something.
I can't hear anything he's saying.
Well, I've heard it do that for you in that room before.
Thank you.
And I don't
Really?
know if, yeah, I remember a week or 2 ago, I told you at the beginning of the meeting you were clipping, and then suddenly you weren't, and it was never an issue again. But the last couple
Right.
of meetings, I've heard it go from too loud to normal for no reason that I can detect.
You
Maybe I
got
got
the
the
router
microphone.
sitting on the back of the cat, I guess.
Clipping means there's too much bass or something?
just too
Overdriving
loud.
is too much loud.
Oh, it's just too loud? Okay.
Well, anyway, you can listen to the recording and debug it.
Yeah, I got to play with it.
Okay, here goes.
Okay. In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed to sea. Okay.
We gotta start over
We
again.
gotta
Something
start.
got screwed
Okay.
up there. Okay, he started before me.
In the-
Okay,
Okay,
All
I
right.
was way off.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here we go again.
In the town where I was born, there lived a man who sailed to sea, and he told us of his life in the land of submarines. So we sailed up to the sun till we found the sea of green, and we lived beneath the waves in a yellow submarine. We all lived in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. We all lived in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, and our friends are all aboard. Many more of them live next door, and the band begins to play. We of thee.
A life of ease.
Every one of
Every one of
us has all we
us
need.
has all we need.
Sky of blue,
Sky of blue,
sea of green,
sea of green,
in a
in our yellow
submarine.
submarine. Oh, we all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine.
Wow, that was fun.
I love
Nicely
that.
done.
Thank you.
That chorus is straightforward, but the verse, boy.
Verse
Yeah.
is insane.
It
Well, you're
And I
only
practiced.
on so many of those chords, like one stroke, and then it's like
Yeah, and then
immediately.
boom, and it
Move on.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to go to the chord you think it's going to go to.
No.
which was obvious because
Yeah.
I messed
You
it
only
up.
messed one up. Never mind.
But you know, our
Our
grandson.
play a little bit of that. You've got to hear this. This is
Oh,
hysterical.
okay. Well,
Do you
all
have
right.
it there?
Yeah, I do. He knows the entire song from memory, and it
In the time when I was born, lived a man. He sailed the sea, and he told to save his life in the land. Submarines. So we sailed to
he goes on
He
and
sings
on
the whole
and
song.
on.
That's
Oh, he's
great.
brilliant.
That's
That's amazing.
What
It's
a
all-
memory.
That's amazing. I just, oh my God, that sounds
I am
amazing.
impressed. Yes, I am.
We were too.
Me-
Yeah, it was. Well,
But
and
he can sing all kinds of Beatles songs. It's hysterical.
we were over here yesterday in this room. He comes and visits us on Mondays, and we were playing "For Me to You." I want to hold your hand,
Yeah,
and just
it's
jamming
like,
on the
now
guitar.
let's do this one. Now
Yeah.
let's do.
And he knows them just by heart.
That's amazing.
No, you can't
Wow.
read yet. That's right. But he's like,
Maybe, are you guys
"Love
thinking
it,
of,
mine."
are you guys thinking of being his accompaniment and then
Yeah,
he
at some
sings?
Oh, yeah.
point, for sure.
Well, yeah.
I got out the soprano ukulele, and it was like he got to hold one anyway. So he was like,
Yes, he is going to have
So
these.
awesome.
"Oh, sure."
And he's right on the note. He had it
Yeah,
perfect.
It really
I
is.
know.
It's
He's
hysterical.
all through the song.
That's amazing. That's so cool. We all want that kind of talent, right?
I know. I'm jealous.
All right.
Your turn.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, I think everybody's been.
We have well, we don't have a small group, but didn't have.
Yeah.
That
Did
seemed like
Vany do one?
Oh, Vany, yeah. You didn't send me anything, I don't think. Do you want to do one?
I didn't send you anything this week, but the second song from last week,
Oh,
the Irish traditional,
hold on.
Loch Lomond.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on a second. Let me dig that up.
Sorry, I didn't say anything.
I need a reminder of things like that. I can't figure that out on my own.
You can't read my mind, Paul?
Well,
So I send it to you again, or?
I guess you better.
You want to sing your song or anybody else, and then it'll take me like a minute.
Probably just.
It's Oz because, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't have it. The ones that come from him or from any other place that's like sort of standard, I don't store a copy on my computer.
Wow. Only the ones formatted by you.
That's enough. Right.
I think it's in C, if I'm not mistaken.
Almost there. Or so I thought. Let me try that again.
I can send it. Let's just...
Yeah, there it goes. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. All right. Let me get back to. All right.
Yep, that's it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond. It's high for me. Where me and my true love wherever went to gaze on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again. On the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side up in Lomond, when purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, he'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before ye. Me and my true love will never meet again. On the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Ah! The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But my broken heart, it can stay second spring. Though the waif who may see, fray their grieving. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before ye. But me and my true love will never meet again. On the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Thank you.
And that was great.
Thank you.
Bonnie, I love that song.
Yeah, that was really good. Thank you. That sounded
You
fantastic.
have a great voice.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
do.
you. It was a little high, but yeah. Some nights at the end of the night, it's better than in the morning.
You managed it. We would have never known that you were struggling.
Thank you.
I was going to say that Nick, when we finally get to meet in person, we'll have to do it because there's a high harmony to that I like to do. But It just
Yeah.
dawned on me that you're in New York, so we'll have to drag you down.
You know, I think Zoom has just created a new feature where two people can be in the same, like not you and Gary, but like you and like
Somebody-
two different places can be in the same window or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps with the audio, but
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I
haven't
just
seen
got
it.
the update today and I saw that.
Oh, well, I tend to be behind by a version or two.
Yeah.
I have
What are
been
you gonna
mad.
sing, Paul?
I'm gonna sing a Fleetwood Mac song. I saw covered
Oh.
on an acoustic guitar recently. So. Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel? If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. How can I, if you won't take it from me? You can go your own way, go your own way. Call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. How can I? Everything turned around. Wait. Tell me how everything turned around. Packing up, shacking up's all you wanna do. If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. Open up, everything's waiting for you. You can go your own way, go your own way. Call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can go your own way, go your own way. Call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can go your own way, go your own way. Go your own way.
That was great, Paul.
Nicely done.
Wow. The instrumental was amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I need a little more time. I couldn't quite memorize it in that amount of time. I started too late in the weekend.
Wait a
Oh,
minute.
that was great, but
That
I
was-
gotta go.
All right, see you, Walter.
Oh, bye, Walter.
See you, Walter.
It looked like you were singing from memory, though.
Well, I was, but I tripped up a couple of times because I didn't remember it very well.
Couldn't tell.
Right. It was fine.
All right. Now I think we've all been. Marty, you have an announcement?
Well, I think we ought to get Gary to do it because he's got the actual beer bottle. I've got a drink here. There you go,
Beer
Gary.
time.
There it
beer
is.
time.
It's time.
It's time.
Go get you a beverage
that
and come
fun.
back.
I'll be back.
See you in a
See you
second.
guys.
Bye,
See you,
Fred.
Kent.
See you later, Fred.
Bye, Ken.
Thank you.
Fred.
Bye. Marty, how is your ear training thing going? Didn't you say you were taking, like, learning how to like listen and play?
Well, that's a continuing thing that I keep trying to do.
Oh, I thought you had a teacher and stuff.
I've got a teacher for my mandolin lessons, but that's not specifically ear training. That's how to. The guy's a real stickler. He's really good. He's a stickler on, your pick directions and all that.
Oh, yeah.
He keeps giving me these songs that, a lot of eighth notes, but then there's a rest at the first eighth note. So it's not a pick down. It's a rest and then pick up, and wants to see me staying in the rhythm. But I'm getting better at it. It's helping me.
Well, that's good.
That's one of the big differences between Western and like Indian music. We don't have that rhythm necessarily, but we have another concept that, like, within, you count like 16 or 32 or whatever, you have to get back to the beginning in that time. So whether you sing certain words a little slower and don't sing the rest of the words, but as long as you get back to that starting point in time, you're good.
Good.
So you have a lot of leeway in between. It's, I don't know, you have to listen to it, and it's quite amazing. And every time the singer comes back to that point, everyone gets excited. They're like, they clap, it's like because you feel it, right? Even if you're not singing it, you feel that.
How about when you've got a band going, how's everybody stay in sync if it's moving?
Well, there is a rhythm, like there is the drums, the tabla is playing. So I'm thinking more of a vocal performance.
You're phrasing. So you're doing it like Willie Nelson does. Willie Nelson is famous for not keeping on track on the rhythm of his song, but it sounds great.
Well, his band must be now used to his rhythm, whatever a rhythmic rhythm he has. But
I read some write-ups about his playing style and all, and at first, when he was when he wasn't a big name, people hated it. It's like, that guy can't keep a rhythm, and now that everybody's used to it, it's like, oh, that's Willie.
Oh, really?
Well, try singing that song of his. He was a friend of mine. It's such a simple tune, and when he sings it, it sounds amazing because there's something there that he's doing. I don't know what, but it's not an easy song to sing. It's so simple that it's not easy to sing.
Yeah. Sometimes the simpler songs are more difficult.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of like your yellow submarine you were talking about. Deceptively simple looking.
How hard that was. It was driving us nuts.
The chord pattern. I mean, it's easy chords, but it's
they were really easy chords. It's just, oh well.
I think a lot of other Beatles songs are in that category.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Easy to sing but hard to play. Like or I should say easier to sing. I shouldn't say.
You're Vany, you're talking about the Indian music as opposed to Western music. Paulette would love to hear that. She was out when you were talking about how they don't stick on the rhythm, that they have like a 16 count or a 32 count, but it's not an
Yeah.
even count, but you have to get back to,
You work your way back around eventually.
because we
Yeah.
go through this all the time. I
He says-
have to play on the beat, and she
Yeah.
likes to drag out notes.
I like to
and-
syncopate a little bit.
Oh, I
It
love
messes
doing
things
that, and
up.
I love adding an extra chord to like emphasize
Yes.
something and like return back. But Gary's right. You can only do that if you're on your own. If you're singing with people, it screws up everybody. So,
I
but
know, these singers that, will play with somebody that's backing them up on piano or something like that. I mean, those musicians that play like that are so good that they can anticipate
yeah.
exactly what the
Rehearsed
singer
a
is going
bunch
to do.
too, so they
So,
Yeah. Well, and also they're so attuned to that board, to
Right.
the notes that they can just do whatever. In the
Yeah.
Indian tradition, when the vocalist sings, the tabla player, who's the drummer, is obviously keeping beat. But sometimes the vocalist will say, no, like there are different speeds at which they sing. Some are fast, some are slow. But the vocalist will say, no, that's too fast. And then he'll tell the tabla player, slow down a little bit or speed up a bit or whatever. But so it's the vocalist is sort of deciding it. And then there's on the other side, there's an accompaniment with what they call a harmonium, or it's sort of like a piano, but it's got bellows. You have to like push it and push the air through to get the sound. And that person is basically a half a note behind the vocalist, just playing what the vocalist is singing, like the notes.
Wow.
And it's all extempore, right? The vocalist is just singing the notes, just harmonizing, doing whatever. And this person is just listening and playing the notes, just half a note behind. It's amazing. It's really fun to watch.
Wow.
When they're so good. I'll have to send you one where you can see it, and what I was talking about, the timing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you could, we could turn the recording off at some point and you can play it for us,
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I say turn
Well,
the
not
recording off.
everybody, maybe not everybody wants to hear it right now.
We're in the beer drinking part. We get to kind of go free form now.
Yeah, pretty well anyway. Anything goes.
So what is it that you want to play, Vany?
No, you know what? I actually think that because part of the beauty of this music is that you listen to it's like a half an hour song that somebody is building, and it's hard to just jump into the middle and you don't get it, so I'll send you a really good link that's not a very long one, and maybe tell you where to start listening from, so you can sense that rhythm.
Mary Jane, we're talking about the differences between Indian music and Western music.
Oh yeah,
And-
Indian music. Oh
and,
yeah. I don't think there's any hope for me in Indian.
She had said that
music.
there's the beat is not always constant, but there's a section of the song that it needs to return at the same point after so many beats, So it's
Jazz, like jazz, the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, but come back to this point. Yeah, exactly like that. In fact, so what somebody sings first is just the notes for that rag, like 7 notes going up and 7 notes coming down, and they're different notes. They're not just straight through. So it's sort of akin to like different keys, right? And then they'll sing 2 little verses of the words, and then it's improvisation from there. And then after that, they might just sing half a line and then improvise, and then they'll come back at that spot to that point and then do another little improvisation, but then come back to that spot. So, and when you're in the audience and when the person hits that spot, it's actually called coming back to the sum, like the word is called sum in Hindi. everyone feels it and you're like, ah, okay. And then it's like a release, it's like coming back to it.
Well,
And
and
if a singer misses that, oh, they're going to get booed off the stage. You cannot miss that. Yeah.
it's like in Western music, generally you can do all the jazz you want, but it's got to come back to the root
Right.
Yeah.
chord
Yeah.
at some point.
Some point.
And
Don't
it's,
mess with me.
And it's a release of the tension.
Yeah.
Ties it all up.
Yeah. Do you get confused, Marty, playing ukulele and mandolin, or is it different enough that you can sort of separate?
It's different enough. And it's, you think about it, when you think about it, a ukulele is mostly, at least for me, mostly a chording instrument. So you just learn the chords. Well, there's different chords on a mandolin. It's just like learning more chords. So it's.
Oh, so you're doing chords on the mandolin as well?
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like tab?
Well, doing melody with chords with it, I mean, or like they call them stops. Like an example would be in a guitar thing. That's a portion of a chord.
Right.
Double stop, yeah.
Yeah.
2 notes.
I haven't gotten into that, like partially playing the strings, right? So you're holding a chord shape and playing only some of the strings.
Well, in this case, I know I only want those 2 center strings, so I'm only doing the two fingers. And that you do that in guitar and ukulele too, but it's really a lot in mandolin.
Oh, okay.
So it's primarily melody with a few double stops, which is 2 parts of the chord, 2 of the notes.
Oh, I see. That's what double stop means, playing only part of a chord.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So that's sort of like in between chords and tab in a way.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's a G7. Well, you could, if I only play 2 of them, 2 of the strings, that's a double stop.
So how do you know which 2 notes to play? How do you know what partial chord to play?
Well, there's a melody, and generally one of the notes in the double stop is the melody note. And then I mean, in this example, I would know I'm in the G7th part of the song. You see the chords, and I can just add that other finger to make it a part of.
Oh, I see. I guess I haven't really done this, but in each chord, one string is the melody string.
It's not always the melody, but
the main note.
There are songs where you're singing there's a note that's not in the chord. I run into that numerous times, but a lot of times, generally, it's one of the notes.
It'll almost always be something. Too much noise.
That's Mary Jane practicing.
Oh, no, Brenda.
Brenda, I think. There you go.
Oh, sorry,
okay.
Brenda. Sorry.
The melody is almost always in the key of the chord you're playing. There's exceptions to every rule, but generally speaking, if you're doing a C chord, you're valid. There's not an F in a C chord, but F is in the C scale, so. So it would still be in that scale.
I remember a woman playing at one of our jams, and she was doing that. She was holding the chord shape with her left hand, but then only picking certain strings with her right. And
yeah, it's like,
it sounds really nice.
It's like summertime, anyway, so it's just portions of it, of the.
Where is this written, or do you just figure it out?
Well, on the mandolin, I'm taking lessons from this guy, and he gives me tabs, and so he says do these two strings at this point. So I'm just practicing that.
Oh, okay.
And after a while, some of it rubs off, and when I get to another song where it's got that same pattern, I'll okay, now I can do that.
Got it. Just a matter of knowing and learning, right? Yeah.
I think that's
lessons help. If you know, Vany, it sounds like you need to take some lessons, you know, because that's what it seems like our jam session turns into a lesson, and I can't learn that way, you know. I would have to have one-on-one lessons. I can't just pick up
this
in
is not, I mean,
conversation.
it's a lesson, but it's not like I know how to do it. I just have learned some theory. And then I can sort of correlate it to what Paul did last week, I think, or one time, where he looked like he was playing the chords, but then he was only plucking certain strings.
Yeah.
And it had a really nice effect.
I think a lot of it just, what does it sound? What sounds good to you? So,
right.
Mary Jane, you're always famous for having another song. Do you have another one tonight?
I do.
Good. I'd love to hear it.
Well, yes, this one is another one of these sea songs, and I really like sea songs, and a lot of them are old and traditional, like this one. And this one really gets into whaling.
I got to ask you, it's in the key of C, but I think you mean SEA. Song.
Well, yes, it's a sea song in the key of C.
I'm just teasing you.
Well, that's okay. At least this one's got 4 chords in it, so a little bit more of a challenge for some of you to play along. It's a pretty easy song. It does get into some pretty detailed aspects of the whaling profession, though, as it gets on. Advertised in Boston, New York, and Buffalo. 500 brave Americans are wailing for to go, singing, blow you into the morning, blow you into hi-ho, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. They send you to New Bedford, that famous whaling port, and hand you to some land sharks to board and fit you out, singing, blow you into the morning, blow you into hi-ho, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. They tell you of the clipper ships a-going in and out, and say you'll take 500 sperm before you're 6 months out, singing, blow you into the morning, blow you in hi-ho, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. It's now we're out to sea, me boys, the wind comes on to blow. One half the watch is sick on deck, the other half below, singing, blow you into the morning, blow you in hi-ho, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. As for the provisions, we don't get half enough. A little piece of stinking beef and a blam small bag of duff, singing, blow you into the morning, blow you in hi-ho, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. Next comes the running rigging, which you're all supposed to know. Lay aloft, you son of a gun, or overboard you go, singing, blow you into the morning, blow you in hi-ho, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. The skippers on the quarterdeck are squinting at the sun. the boats, me boys, and after him we'll travel. But if you get too near his fluke, he'll kick you to the devil, singing, blow you in the morning, blow you in time, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. Now we have got him turned up, we tow him alongside, and over with our blubber hooks and rob him of his hide, singing, blow you in the morning, blow you in time, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. Next comes the stowing down, me boys, we'll take both night and day. You'll all have 50 cents apiece on the 190th day, singing, blow you in the morning, blow you in time, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. When we get home, our ship made fast, and we get through our sailing, a winding glass around we'll pass, and damn this blubber whaling, singing, blow you in the morning, blow you in time, clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow.
Wow,
Very nice.
that was great.
That's
That
another
makes
good banjo song.
Yeah, I forgot to put the kazoo on, but I just thought it wasn't worth messing up the song.
It sounded great.
Good song.
That makes
Sounded
me
good.
think about, there's a lot of terms in any industry, you know, and they're talking about half a ration of old beef and all that. I wonder, I guess there's parts of the whale that are edible. Maybe they got to eat some of the whale when they caught them, huh?
Yeah, well, apparently they didn't consider doing that. You know, I guess whale oil is a
Yeah.
product. You know, it's got so much blubber. They were gonna squeeze all the oil out of that blubber. So maybe people don't eat whale. I mean, I'm sure
Some people
Eskimos
do.
do.
The Japanese eat it.
I don't remember them mentioning eating the whales in Moby Dick, and there was a lot of talk about the business of whaling in that book. They boiled it down, like you said, and they used the leftover flesh as firewood for subsequent boiling sessions. So they burned enough wood to boil a pot or two, and then after that, they just used the whale's own flesh as firewood.
Well, you would have thought that a whale would have, you know, a lot of muscle tissue somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And that would be edible like beef, you know, but
yeah,
apparently it's so riddled with fat it doesn't work for reasonable consumption.
Seems like
Well,
I remember them.
Somebody eats it.
Yeah, somebody eats it. I just don't remember the whalers eating it.
Westerners
Yeah.
don't eat it.
Yeah, I've never seen a sea song where they talked about eating it, and I have seen them talk about, a lot of sea songs talk about their rations being pretty poor.
Yeah.
This one included the stinking beef, but when they actually start harvesting the whale, they said they're going to over with our blubber hooks and rob him of his hide.
Yeah.
And that's getting down pretty basic there.
Yep,
And
yep.
I mean, I'm a vegetarian, so you know, this is.
Yeah, maybe
I
they
had
didn't
to
think
say,
any of
okay, it's a song, and
I
you're
always
gonna
thought we
sing
had
it no matter what you think of.
Well, after singing that song and playing it, I might become a vegetarian too.
What were you saying, Paulette?
Well, when they had the baleen whales, what they would do is take the baleen and they'd sell that for the ribs for corsets. That's what
corsets, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
It was kind of a consistency of plastic.
The stuff in the forehead of the sperm whales is really popular.
Ambergris.
There you go. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name.
What?
Verdigris, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That song would be great to harmonize too.
Yeah, I was harmonizing too.
Yeah.
I like all those those old sea shanties too.
Sea
You know,
shanties, yeah.
those are really
Fun.
almost
What's
always real fun.
Well,
what's
I
the one
learned
that's super popular on social media? I'm forgetting. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure you heard it.
Yeah, well, I looked up the spelling of sea chanty. You know, I always thought it was a chanty rather than a shanty, but I noticed that Paul pronounces it shanty. So I looked it up, and apparently you can either way is fine. That chanty is the number one or the most usual, but shanty is acceptable.
Well, it came from
And
the French
even two
chanson.
different spellings, even with just a plain Y on the end or an EY on the end. You know, so apparently you can go a lot of different directions with a shanty or a chanty.
But
Paulette,
it
you were
started
saying it's
out
a
chanty from chanson in French for song.
Oh, chanson, right? To sing, right?
Yeah.
Or singer.
Chanter is to sing. Yeah.
Chanter.
well, you think about it,
Chanson, song.
chanty. It's kind of like a chant.
Yeah,
Maybe
right. And that's
root
where
word
they
must be
came
the
from
same.
also.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I thought the connection with the word chant, you know, that I was more leaning toward the C, the CH rather